안녕하세요. 하비올릭의 하비입니다. 이번 시간은 게이머분들이 기다리실 만한 게임계 핫한 소식을 전달드리는 하비의 게임 뉴스입니다. 이번 영상에선 짧지만 굉장한 볼거리를 가져와 봤는데요. 차세대 콘솔 기기로 주목받고 있는 화제의 게이밍 하드웨어죠. 플레이스테이션 5와 이를 통해 구동된 뉴 언리얼엔진의 그래픽 시연 영상입니다. 에픽게임즈에서 소개한 이번 영상엔 기존 세대 그래픽에서 큰 폭으로 향상된 테크놀로지들을 소개해주고 있는데요. 넘사벽급 업그레이드로 수십억 개의 기하학 픽셀 그래픽을 충돌 없이 발현시키는 나나이트 시스템, 실시간으로 살아 움직이는 풀 다이나믹 GI 광원 효과가 돋보이는 루멘 시스템, 실제 공간의 사운드 잔향 효과를 훌륭하게 구현하는 컨볼루션 리버브 오디오 등 곧 게이머들을 신세계로 인도해줄 다양한 미래 그래픽 시스템이 적용된 이번 시연 영상에선 에픽게임즈 두 디렉터의 설명과 함께 놀랄만 칭하려 하고 차원이 다른 몰입감을 잠시나마 경험해볼 수 있었습니다. 어딘가 신비로운 매력을 지닌 여성 주인공도 등장하는데요. 그럼 지금 함께 떠나보시죠.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo. Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well. Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like? This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color. Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly. Okay, let's keep going. We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution Reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces. Sound field rendering allows us to record and playback spatialized audio. All of this adds up to a more immersive experience. This swarm of bats was created with our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before. We've also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below. The demo runs on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf. Now that the environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
Looks promising.
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay. Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light. Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry. Remember we mentioned high poly assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles. No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs. And we can do more than a single statue. There are nearly 500 of that exact statue at the same detail level placed in this room, for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone. Over this entire demo, there are hundreds of billions of triangles. So with Nanite, you have limitless geometry, and with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination, all running on a PlayStation 5.
There's not much time left.
And this doesn't need to be constrained to small rooms. It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
The portal, it's open. Don't fail me now.
Time to see what's next.